Hello friends, welcome to Squaird Plans, where creative planning and organization comes to life. I'm Stephanie, and today we're going to be setting up the month of May in my catch-all everyday planner. We'll use stickers, pens, watercolor, and washi to decorate a monthly spread in my classic happy planner, so come play out with me. And I've got some washi tapes here ready to go, as well as these Tombow markers that I may use, a water brush pen, and a plastic sheet for some mixed media techniques, and these happy planner stickers that I'll pull from. This month I decided to go ahead and print all of the inserts for my catch-all everyday planner on a different stock of paper than I normally use. I mentioned this before in my planner lineup setup video back in December, talking about some different papers that I picked up. And this one is the knee-high paper, which is a little bit thicker and better for handling some mixed medias, including inks and even a little bit of watercolor, which I want to sample out this month. And so I went ahead and printed all of my inserts for the month on that knee-high paper, which I'll have linked down below if you're interested. It's a little bit thicker than the paper that I normally use, the HP 32 premium paper, but again, is really much better for working with mixed media within the planner without it bleeding through. So comparable to like a 180 GSM paper that you might get in a bullet journal or something like that. So that said, this paper is not my standard paper, and that's just important for later down the road. But I went ahead and printed right on it just like I would my normal inserts, and now laid some wax paper over it so that I could try to figure out how we're going to lay in the stickers this month for my theme, which is my birthday month. So May falls into that time, which is just perfect for me. There's not any major holidays to really highlight, and that's what I usually like to do in my monthlies. So May just worked out perfectly that my birthday would be in that month. So I usually theme it around my birthday festivities. And I realized going through all my sticker books that I am really short on birthday stickers. There's a few just decor stickers that I've definitely blown through the past few years, and birthday stickers are one of them. So I found these in the Happy Illustration sticker book, which are some watercolor cupcakes and a few balloons that maybe I'll tie in, and we'll see if we can make a spread work with what I have here. And originally I was going to do all of my monthly spreads in the same theme, which I still probably will do, but I just took a little bit too long as I was going through and making up this first spread, figuring out how I was going to use these stickers. So I ended up not filming any of the other pages that I had originally intended, but I will be doing the same theme once I get this all sorted and situated here on camera on my month overview pages, which are the following pages after these. And then at the very back, I have a memory a day single page monthly sheet that I also decorate, and that I'll match up with this theme as well. But I won't be showing that today in this video. So that said, already laying some things down. I'm pulling in some colorful boxes now from the Colorful Boxes sticker book, the OG original, and just trying to figure out what might look good, cohesive, just feel like a designed theme and not just stickers on a page. So I'm playing around with that. Part of the problem is that there's a lot of colors in these cupcake stickers, which I do like the variation of colors, but it makes it a little bit hard to really design a cohesive theme when you have a lot of different colors. So I'm just playing around with maybe grouping them together in specific ways, or positioning them, more in an orderly fashion so it doesn't feel quite so random with all of this color, making like small groups, and see how that turns out. I did kind of the sprinkling falling down from the sky look And that really just wasn't working for me. So I also did some now that were in line. And again, that just wasn't really working for me. Also, too, the colors that I'd pulled from the boxes weren't quite right. So I decided to try it in all black and just see how these all mix together. I definitely will be pulling in some black elements into this so it's not so soft and so pastel. I like to ground light colors with a nice, sharp black that's not overwhelming, but gives you, just some stark contrast to the softness of the pastels. So I will be bringing in black for sure and just trying to see how that all look together and what I want to do here. I have laid in all black boxes and decided that was a little bit too much black and went back to a couple more of the colored boxes. Pink that I had pulled originally wasn't quite right, so I found another pink in that same sticker book that I pulled in, which I like a little bit better. And then also that aqua I had pulled originally I will use. So for those boxes, I was just referencing my future log, which I have just off camera so I could tell what days I have events and things I want to call out. And then in the sidebar for those longer boxes, I will use those to track the TV series and shows that I've watched for the month, as well as the books that I read. So I think we're close as far as where I want the boxes and the decor for the moment. So let's go ahead and pull in some washi tape and play around with that, see how they might bring in a little bit more life and some color. I grabbed a happy birthday washi tape that I got from Joann's in a set a while back. It was like a celebration set. I doubt I'm going to have a link for that, but it was a nice set that I got maybe back in 2019. It's got happy birthday written over and over in the aqua, the pink, a little bit of the yellow, and then black. So again, another way to tie in a little bit more of that black tone. So I'm going to try to pull that in. I've also got some washi tape that I picked up at Daiso that has a little bit of pink, yellow, and then it's more of a blue tone, but I think it can kind of be steered towards the teal, tying that in. But since I do have a bunch of different colors in the cupcakes, I think I can make it work, even though it's not a true color scheme. Kind of playing around a little bit more with the colors in different hues and similar hues, but not exactly the right hues, which you'll see too with the pink. Also comes in a little bit weird later down the road. It's not quite the same pinks, but I think all in all, it all comes together with that soft pastels contrasted with the black elements. So I've laid in a few layers of the happy birthday in the pastel washi tape, and I'm liking that. I like the clustering of the cupcakes in the corners. That's pretty much what I ended up going with. I really was playing around a lot with these, and I don't know, I didn't seem to really feel comfortable with the balloons on the sheet. So I decided just to stick with the cupcakes, but I didn't want to use all of the cupcakes. I have a whole other sheet of them, but I want to use those on those other 3 pages that I still have to design in this theme. So just trying to be conservative with what I have and still make everything work and feel fun and designed on the page. So, like I said, just playing around a little bit more with maybe some additional washi. Maybe I'll outline it in that confetti washi. I don't know yet. I also have that mixed media style thing to bring in with the markers. So let's start adding that in too, just to see how much extra color I can pull into the spread. I do feel like it's a little bit light on the colors, a lot of white space, which can be good, but I do like something a little bit more vibrant and interesting to look at. especially on these monthly spreads that don't tend to be filled up with too much functional stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and white out the corners of the month that have the empty days just to get a nice clean area to do some watercolor, like I mentioned here on the corners, maybe as a background to those cupcakes. So there's a few things that I did technique-wise here. I used the Tombow markers to lay down some color on that plastic sheet, and then I put a little bit of water on the sheet as well to have that be picked up from the Tombow brush marker. So I actually put the water right into the tip of it and then painted sometimes on the sheet with that if I wanted a little bit more bold color. But that creates a harder line. So then what I did too is had a paintbrush on hand that was just a wet paintbrush and picked up that ink that I was laying down from the Tombow marker and lay that in for a softer, more watercolory look. So if it was too soft, I'd go back in with the marker with a little bit of water in the tip to kind of add a little bit more depth of color. But when I was washing in the color, it tended to work best by laying down some of that marker on the plastic and then going in with that wet paintbrush and picking up that ink and laying it onto the paper. So if you're using just a basic Happy Planner pages, I would not recommend using water on those pages unless you're okay with your pages warping quite a bit. Even these heavier stock pages warp a little bit in the corners where I put the water, but it's really not that bad, and it doesn't bleed through, which was what I was always most concerned with. So that thicker paper does help with those issues, which is why I picked it up. I wanted to try it, and it has held up fairly well as far as that is concerned. So I'm going to go ahead and start laying in the stickers in the areas where things have dried up a bit. And I didn't even mention the 2 quotes that I pulled. Those were actually from the Essential Planning sticker book. I have some extra sheets from that book because I pretty much ripped that book up and sent away most of the sticker sheets from that book. But I kept the birthday stickers pages, and so that's where the Celebrate and the birthday stickers came from. I just really like the way that the font was written on those quotes, so I kept those and used those to mark my birthday and just a little bit of a Celebrate quote there at the top to define the month. Laying in more of the washi. I think I'm going to white out the day cross lines that the washi comes in contact with, just so it looks a little bit nicer behind that washi, since it is such a transparent washi with the lighter colors. And then I'm just dropping in the boxes where they were on the sheet. And again, laying in the washi tape. I did make an adjustment on this washi tape in particular, just because I felt like that I didn't want to layer it too closely with the box sticker, so that's why I decided to do there. And I'm bringing in some of the other stickers. I'm doing some overlaid on the edge so that I can trim them and reuse the pieces on other areas just to make the corners look a little more full. And I really like those pastel stickers, but like I mentioned, they're pretty light. So those washes behind them, I think, really help add a little bit more vibrancy to the spread itself and just make it look a little more interesting. And just dropping in the last of the stickers and trying to pull in the trimmings where I can. I am doing a little bit of repositioning so that I can add in those trimmings in a little more of a seamless manner so they look like they are always meant to be there. And that seems to be working pretty well. Everything's looking good. Just going to trim off the last little bits there. And now what I'm going to do is use the fine tip side of the dual tip markers to add in a bit of a confetti feel. And basically just pulling that directly from the washi tape I was thinking to add in. Just doing a sparse sprinkling of the black and then going through with the other 3 colors I pulled here in the aqua teal, the yellow, and the pink. And some of them get a little bit lost on top of their own color, but that's okay. Just wanted to give you the feeling of more of a sprinkling of confetti, or, you know, just something a little more party atmosphere in these corners. Also giving a little more texture as well. And I wanted to add a little bit more of the black because I felt like the black was the easiest to see and kind of was able to be brought out a bit more. So I'm going to layer those in. I'm going to highlight the sidebar boxes a little bit to bring in just a smidge more color. And now I think we're ready to go ahead and add in the text for this month that I know I'll need. So to begin, I'm going to go ahead and label those sidebar boxes with TV watched and books read. And then I have a few birthdays this month to remember aside from my own, so I'm going to go ahead and put those in the pink boxes. And the teal boxes will be for the holidays, so I have Mother's Day and Memorial Day. And then the black box is a graduation day for a cousin of mine, and I think that should do it, friends. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also, too, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch, and think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Bye!